Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors for the next 90 minutes on what we call the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. And this being the second Saturday, we have not half staff or half mast or anything like that. We have half of our co-host team, and he's been with me a long time, and that's my good friend Frank Barton from over in Marion, Arkansas. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone.
But, Frank, you will not have to have any introduction competition with John Gordon. John is out. He's off this week, and so it's always a duel between you.
He didn't check with me before he decided not to come.
Well, he heard you were coming, and that's what it was. So, but John is on assignment with Ducks Unlimited, so he will not be with us this week, but Frank is in here. We have a special guest in the studio over there, first-time visitor, my good friend George Gregory. Good morning, George.
Good morning, y'all. Appreciate y'all inviting me here.
Okay, George has just used up all 5 words he was supposed to say. No, that's not right. So we're happy to have you, George. And George brought a gift to me as he came into the studio this morning, on this Saturday morning. And he brought me a copy of Jimmy Houston's Catch a Better Life, Daily Devotions, and Fishing Tips. And what makes this book even more special, besides just coming from Jimmy, but it's also what, George? It's autographed.
It's autographed.
Yeah,
it's autographed by Jimmy himself.
By Jimmy himself, and of course, Jimmy is a longtime friend of this show. I've been on it many times, and I stay up with Jimmy on Facebook with his daily devotions. But I appreciate this, George, and this was all kind of an aftershoot of the great time that we had at Trinity Baptist back on March the 2nd. George, you guys put on a great show. That's a lot of work, but I just want to thank you and Sam and Pastor Matt and all the rest of them out there, George, for the efforts that you guys have been doing it for, I don't know how many years.
27 years.
27 years. They ought to have it right by now.
We missed it the last 2 years because of COVID.
Yes.
But it was very much appreciated. We had a good turnout, and, of course, a great speaker, and by the name of Larry Ray.
Well, I appreciate that, and I love in fact, I spoke back-to-back out there, and I didn't realize it until they didn't have it for a couple of years, and they called me back, but enjoyed it, and this book means a lot, George.
Thank you.
Your friendship and everything like that.
You're more than welcome. I would like to give a plug out to the Hetty family who is members of our church that did the gospel music.
Did great. They did great. Yeah, they did. They sang one of my favorite songs, Midnight Cry. The young man did there and hit all the notes due to all them duck poppers they ate, Frank. They had a few duck poppers there. You ever eaten a duck popper, Frank?
A few times.
A few times. So George is going to kind of sit in. We're going to let him listen to how this thing goes. Shelby McCall, of course, she's the decorated, the award-winning, honored, the trophy presentation producer of this show. It was really cool last week. We got her, Frank. We got her last week. She had no idea that we were going to present her with a trophy, and it went real nice. She got a lot of nice compliments. I don't know if you got a raise or not, but you got some nice compliments. So thanks for being here. And, of course, Frank is double-parked. He's got so many things going on right now. You know, he's got to get down to Alabama for what's going on in Alabama down there?
It's called Black Warrior Hunt Test Club down there is having their first event of the spring.
Is that it?
And we call it a double. So it's you go down there and you get to run 2 tests for. It's not for the price of one, but you go one trip down there and you run 2 tests instead of going one trip down there and running 1 test.
And you're taking what dog?
Goose and Hershey
are both been going down.
Are both entered.
Now, is this in the Black Belt area of Alabama? Is it down south Alabama?
Demopolis, Alabama. It is held at what used to be. We still call it the Cattle Ranch. The state had a prison-run cattle ranch.
Did it really? So that's where
for a number of years, and Now they don't operate the cattle ranch, and it's not part of the it's really not part of the state prison system. But there's a conservancy organization called Forever Wild, and Forever Wild manages this particular piece of ground, and it's managed for all manner of dog events, whether it be pointers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Rabbit dogs.
All right.
And
we're going to talk some
retrievers.
pointers. We're going to talk some pointers this morning on the show.
We
got the champs coming on today.
There are a few down there, and
the national bird dog champion himself. As we talk, we're hoping to hook up with Nick Barong. He is the owner of Sam. That's his call name, but we know him as Miller's Blindsider, who won the 2023 National Bird Dog Championship at Ames Plantation. And we're also going to talk to the handler, Jamie Daniels, out of Georgia, out of Dawson, Georgia. And Nick, of course, is out of Maryville, Tennessee. We're going to talk to them. It's going to be a fun show. Ron Wong is at Redcrest 2023, the Redcrest Cup, Major League Fishing over in Lake Norman in North Carolina. And we are posting just every day Ron's photographs on LarryRay.com. Go to that and get all that. I'm trying to put them on Facebook. Ron is over there, and I've got some more things to say about that later in the show. And then we're going to talk to the sporting chef himself, Scott Lasaith. Out in California, he's also known, they've done 6 seasons of Dead Meat. I love that show. It's a
great name for
it's a great name for an for outdoor cooking and things like that. And then right now he's getting ready to head to South America, I think, for Ranch America, and that's another TV show he's got. And of course, the Sporting Chef is starting up this fall. He's got one called The Fishmonger that's rolling. All these on the Outdoor Channel, and we'll talk to Scott and close out the show. George had a chance to meet this young man, as I did, at the recent Mid-South Sports and Boat Show out at the Agri Center, and that's Dennis Bowen. He's with Bethesda Fishing, all about fly fishing lures and things, and Dennis has quite a story to tell about his love of fly fishing. He's a paramedic right here in the Memphis area, but so we're going to breeze through this show today as we continue toward our 23rd year of doing Outdoors with Larry Ray. A good Saturday morning to all you folks in Brownsville on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. In Jackson, Tennessee, News Talk 101.5. And, of course, right here in Memphis on our prime time, 9 to 10:30 on Saturday mornings, AM 790. And, again, Shelby McCall is our show producer. And right after this segment, I'm really looking forward to talking to, they call him the Cowboy. He's from Arkansas, Frank. He's from Clinton, Arkansas. He just won $100,000 fishing. Now, so what's the top prize you win at Demopolis this weekend? What are you laughing for, huh? Get a plaque, don't you? Or a trophy or something? A ribbon?
We get a ribbon.
You get a ribbon.
The dog earns a ribbon.
The dog earns a ribbon. They don't give a ribbon to the handler. I mean. Okay.
No, we're it's not all.
It's
about,
amateur.
It's not about us.
No, it's not.
It's about the dog.
Well, we're going to talk to a young man named Joey Fuentes out of Clinton, Arkansas. He's got an unbelievable story about how he turned from professional baseball to professional bass fishing. And George, I know you will know his mentor was a guy that they call the General over in Arkansas, the one and only Larry Nixon. Is what got Joey started, and he just won his first tournament, and with it $100,000 plus he won some other money for big bass and right kind of boat and all that kind of stuff. But I thought that you're really not into what you do for the money. It's more like to watch the dogs. You like it. It's fun. There's expenses to it.
There are some activities in the retriever world that have monetary considerations attached to them.
Not in the Master Nationals.
Not really in the hunt test world.
No, in the hunt test world.
But there are some events with retrievers that
the bird dogs,
they give prize money.
They got money. The bird dogs, the handlers, they got a lot of prizes out there at Ames Plantation. There's some monetary value of that, but it's also you like to see your dogs work and how they work, and
it's all we want to, all we're out is trying to get a better dog, and ultimately we're trying to improve the breeding of the dogs.
Yes, yeah.
When it gets right down to it, with the American Kennel Club, it's a breed organization.
It's a breed organization.
So
okay.
The dogs that we're doing now that we're running now are better than the dogs that were being run 25 years ago, and those dogs are better than the ones from 25 years before that.
Wow, you got 2 minutes
to
tell me.
Better training.
Better nutrition.
Better training has a lot to do with it, and genetically, the dogs that we're running now have got more natural abilities than the dogs from 50 and 75 and even 100 years ago, because the weaker dogs have been taken out of the gene pool.
Can you imagine doing a 3-hour trial?
No, I mean that's the thing about Ames in that particular sport. You're talking about a dog that is hunting, that's moving, that's working for 3 solid hours. And they don't stand around.
No, they don't. Well, except when they find things.
Yeah, when they do that, but
they stand very
solid. They'll stand, but for the most part, they are working for 3 solid.
They're definitely
hours.
athletes. They're athletes.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. George Gregory is taking notes over there, I'm sure. Try not to use any big words, George. We're just a lot of fun over here. Let's take our first break of the morning, and we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.